That's the soldiers were really, it shows that thing.
Yeah. Because I think many of us in the spiritual world, especially in the New Age spiritual world, have a kind of idealistic view that if only we were to be spiritual, then that would be the end to conflict. Everybody would live harmoniously together, and yet
I weigh in for that.
You weigh in for that?
Yes, because they. If you're in the realm of one, we're all one, and the little below that, all souls. You don't end up in war.
I believe that. Yeah,
that's New Age.
I believe that. No. I believe that. That's in the, but somehow we've not yet been able as a species to manifest that. So I'm all for it. It's not that, but it's why we also have these incarnated roles in the sorting of things out, and it should happen on whatever those roles are.
Yeah, but I've been. The key thing I have now is soul, not role. Mm-hmm. What you identified with.
Yeah. No, I've always felt that
in you keep agreeing roles.
That training of from early on in life. Now, I'm seeing that we don't have that much time left. Should we take some questions? Since we've been going back and forth in the dialogue.
That's deal questions. That is until questions.
No, that's until.
Oh, okay.
So we want to make sure.
Hello, everybody.
We want to make sure that there's. I remember once being on one of these call-in television shows, and it was very late at night, and we had talked for a while, and then we said, "Well, now it's time for questions." Nobody called, and I thought, well, maybe I'm the only one sitting here. We kept asking, so.
Maybe there are questions. No? Huh?
Yes, there are.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. There was feedback. Okay, so the first question for both of you is, how do you suggest dealing with regret? It seems like the older I get, the longer my list of things I wish I hadn't said or done becomes.
Oh, boy. You know, I was in an interview with Oprah, and she said to me, "What do you regret?" And I thought, I don't regret anything. But she wanted a regret, but she wanted it because my drug history. She wanted it, so I gave it to her. Well, it didn't please anybody, including me. What is do we?
It's interesting. I often feel, and regret is such an interesting term. Regret, or the term guilt, is similar. I think there are things that I can look back in life that had I the opportunity to choose again, I might choose differently, or perhaps knowing the way things went would have chosen differently, or go, oh, I should have, whatever. The truth is, here we are in this moment. And how do we, the only way to be free and choose this moment freshly is to recognize that our mistakes, which we call regrets, have been what's taken us here as certainly and surely as any of our successes and our right choices. I think sometimes our right choices lead us into this kind of illusion that now we know because everything's going right, or I'm leading I'm leading my life in a way that's very positive. But I think I've learned more from those, quote, mistakes and come to a deeper experiencing of life as a result of that. So sometimes those things that we might regret have been the greatest teachings of our lives, and for that we can't really have regret.
Yeah. Life, if you lived life in the present, now, why weren't you present then? And I don't think about I don't now think about the past, and I don't think about the present, the future. I'm left with the present. It's much more spiritual if you plumb the depth of this moment. And I don't ignore the past. And the past, yeah, you were right. The past, now I'm the product of the past.
For good, bad, for just this moment, the way it is.
Yeah, I think of all those unfortunate things. But maybe, but now.
And so many of us, I mean, we do, certainly not to diminish it or minimize it, we do live with regrets, but to me, part of our spiritual practice is such of just coming, as you're saying, into this moment, so that when regret comes up, it's just practice to come back to being right here.
It's a thought. Mm-hmm. It's a thought. Hey, you regret thought. I can see you there. You're taking me away from God. Mm-hmm. Next question. Next question.
Okay. The next question. What is the difference between healthy emotional love and spiritual love? How can I recognize when spiritual love occurs and know that it is not just another emotion?
Boy, it's more.
In some ways, one could say that it doesn't come up as a question. Because when there is that sense of what is spiritual love, it doesn't it doesn't come with all of either the excitement or the worry. It's just, it has more ground to it. It has more fullness to it. And there's not as much that questioning. I think when one starts to fall into a lot of one starts to see the arising of the emotional hanging on or worry or all of that attaches itself to, let's say, romantic love or other types, I think that's a difference. And I think you're more of that understanding in that and feeling.
Yeah.
But that's what I get from when I hear you speak about it.
And it's just, romantic love is up here. And
in the emotional.
And the emotional goes up here. And emotions is with thought. With thought. And when it's love, the wonderful love, there's just no thoughts.
Yeah, and it also it's like that kind of unconditional love for, let's say, a young child just born. There's no, it just is.
Yeah.
It just is.
Even in the child.
I think the unconditional love I know that I have for a child is it's without a coming or going. It just has as though it's always been and always will be. There's no, well, I can have emotional spats or something, but the ground of that is just is endless.
Yeah.
And when there's been romantic love as a juxtaposition to that, where, well, I'll love if I'm loved, or I'll love if there's a certain behavior, that's very different.
Yeah. That's a good one. Stop it. And maybe we should meditate. Attend to your breath. Either the end of your nose or your lungs. Taking in and out. In and out. Now the breath is the primary object. But now you want to change to the primary object. The point halfway on the middle of the chest. and this point is loving awareness. You are aware of everything in this moment. Everything you can extend your awareness to the universe. The moon and the sun. And the stars. Now, the quiet that comes that, that behind the things. The quietness that comes behind time and space. Birth and death are within you. The universe is within you. You are infinite. Everything is within you. You are the one. You are the creative force. Creating the universe. You're holding the universe in your body. In your spiritual body. Ram, 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 Namaste.
Namaste.